Let's talk about Chinese car maker BYD because it is growing. And you just heard about this company really a couple of years ago, but people don't realize they've been around since 2003. And I forget what they did before producing cars, but I think they're doing engines or something else. And then
They did like electronics and stuff as well. I thought they did like phones. I mean, they did some other stuff too, I know.
Yeah. So it's been around since 2003, and they are, it's a bright spot for China. On what they're doing.
Yeah, I mean, they've really been, I'm going to say, desirable. In 2024, the company actually sold 4.3 million vehicles, which put it in sixth place for car sales behind Toyota, Volkswagen, Hyundai-Kia, General Motors, and Stellantis. But also, if you notice, there's no BYD here in the United States. So, I mean, that is pretty impressive to rack up that level of sales without selling to a country like the United States.
And I believe either they're not allowed here or it's 100% tariff, what we put on a Chinese car. Does that sound familiar to you?
It sounds familiar, but, it kind of comes back to, China doesn't really allow a lot of our stuff in there. So,
I know. But the BYD cars, there is some value to them because they got this new fast charging system that I saw this like, is this a misprint? Because it says you can give an EV about 250-mile charge in 5 minutes. I mean, that was just incredible to me. And they also have a driver assist, which Tesla is trying to do. They call it the eyes of God. And I'm not sure where that came, because I don't think that China,
I don't like that. It kind of creeps me out.
It creeps me out, but I don't think China's very religious. I'm thinking of Buddhism or something. I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm way out of my head.
I think Buddhism is up in India and that kind of region. I have no idea what the religious beliefs are in China, if I'm being honest with you.
Yeah, but let's get back to the topic because I'm way into religion, which I don't like being in. It's the eyes of God. The system is available on all models, and even they have a model under $10,000. You can even get that system on that. So that's pretty amazing what they've got coming out there.
Yeah, and I want to say too, I mean, the charging in 5 minutes for that is one thing that it's comparable to gas. One of the holdups for a lot of people that have cars, gas cars, internal combustion engines is like, I don't want to take 15, 30 minutes charging my car. 5 minutes, that's pretty impressive. I mean, that's really no different than going to a gas station at the end of the day.
Yeah, and I do kind of worry. I mean, this is coming out of China. I don't really trust them on some things because the government does control everything. I am curious that down the road we could hear, these driverless cars had accidents. No, it wasn't really 250 miles for 5 minutes. I think the government wants to make themselves look very good. And it's not here where you've got regulators overseeing them. No, they can say pretty much whatever they want to say. So I think while we talk about this, it may not be quite as good as the company puts out there.
Will we know if there was a faulty accident?
Good point. Probably not, because they won't have the cars here. But maybe
they won't have the cars here. And you think China, if they're supporting BYD, is going to say, "Oh yeah, we had 100 accidents last year." You won't even hear about it.
But I think they export them to other countries, not here, but other countries. So other countries, maybe they go to Australia, like, hey, what's going on with these BYD cars?
Yeah, well, and I bet you the other countries though have their own regulations on the driverless systems, and it wouldn't surprise me if China's like, "Oh yeah, BYD's got the best driverless technology, no accidents, no nothing." So we're allowing them to do self-driving here, but nobody else. But then other countries might be like, well, we need to test it and do other things. So, I mean, I don't know. It's just hard to trust China when it comes to different things like that. But in terms of BYD, I mean, I think they do have a good product. Yeah, I'm not going to take that away from them. I think regardless of the driverless technology, the fact that they have the cars under $10,000, some of their cars also too, when I look it up, they don't look bad. I mean, they have some good stuff.
They got some good sales.
Yeah. And the sales, they're very strong. They actually hit $107 billion in sales, which is actually roughly $10 billion more than Tesla's $97.7 billion in sales for the year. Tesla, though, they do make a better profit, coming in at $7.1 billion for the year versus the $5.5 billion in profit for BYD. Maybe not surprised if they're selling a car for under $10,000. How profitable can that really be? But again, they're doing some great things there.
And I did not know this, but China had a record sales last year of 31.4 million cars. Which is the U.S., we have about 15.9 million. So they're double what our car market is, which is pretty amazing. But Tesla only accounted for 6.1% of China vehicle sales. Unfortunately, That's 32% of the total company's sales. So that's a problem because I think BYD is coming out very hard, very good in China. China people want to buy Chinese cars. I think it's a tough spot for Tesla because it's a big part of their sales, almost a third, and those could be declining. So, Tesla has got to.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about our concerns with Tesla. This is definitely a big one. I think China sales growth is going to be very, very difficult for Tesla to really figure out. I think there's so many competitors, BYD in particular. I mean, they're going to be very tough to compete against there. And if you're banking on that as a Tesla shareholder, I'd be nervous.
Yeah, I would be very nervous. And again, Tesla, great. We've always said it's a great company, great innovation. But gosh, for years, it's traded at such high levels. And I hate to see it come down for people. I feel bad for investors. But again, you're paying. I know I said 50 times earnings one time. You said, no, it's like 100 times earnings. Crazy.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's a crazy stock.
Yeah.